Welcome, dear traders. After a short break, InstaForex video reviews are back at the most crucial moment for the markets. Today, the US Fed will announce its decision on the monetary policy at the end of the US session. In the meantime, let's take a look at what the Asian session could offer us in early Wednesday trading. Stock indicators in Australia and Japan continue to soar today. Shares of technology and financial companies were the main drivers of the increase. New Zealand's stock indexes broke out of this trend, plummeting to their 17-month lows. The situation in China keeps raising issues, and today's reports show a decline in manufacturing activity to 49.5 points. The chart shows that October was the second month of decline, and overall manufacturing activity fell to a 6-month low. In addition, China's exports declined for the first month in a row, while imports fell for the first time since July. In addition, employment dropped by the most in 5 months. It looks like the Chinese economy is showing signs of hitting the bottom. However, it lacks a solid ground for a recovery, as the weak economic data prove this. Meanwhile, markets will focus on the upcoming interest rate decision by the Fed. The US regulator is expected to keep rates unchanged. At the same time, the central bank is wary of letting its guard down too soon. And this is especially true in light of a very strong labor market and still above target inflation rates. As a result, the US dollar index was trading sideways after an overnight spike above 106.60, holding near 11-month highs. The index showed almost a horizontal movement early Wednesday, and the greenback traded between 106.60 and 106.80 in Asia, consolidating in anticipation of a Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's speech. And today, the US dollar strengthened against most major currencies. The dollar-yen pair held near early highs. And yesterday, the Bank of Japan kept its interest rate at minus 0.1% and the yield on a 10-year government bonds at 0. It removed the previously established yield ceiling of 1%. In addition, the Japanese Ministry of Finance claims that it has not intervened in the currency market recently. Nevertheless, the yen suffered heavy losses against the US dollar and the euro on Tuesday, and the Japanese currency dropped below 151.60 and was near its low. Ahead of the Fed's decision, the Japanese yen is on a danger of weakening further to 1,990 lows. However, as the US dollar consolidated today, the pair inched down within the range of 151.10 and 151.70. The pair's high volatility observed a few weeks ago pushed the price above the critical level of 150. It seems that this volatility is the result of trading algorithms. With their help, the yen may break through the key 151.95 ceiling. Yesterday, the Australian dollar received support from a global market growth. Today's news was less positive. The weak Chinese economy is putting pressure on the Aussie as the demand for the Australian exports falls and commodity prices decline. As a result, the Aussie dollar pair began Wednesday with a moderate consolidation within the range of 0.6318 and 0.6347. However, the pair strengthened amid the US dollar's weakness, which is possibly short-lived. As a result, the Aussie closed near 0.6330 at the end of the Asian session. The New Zealand dollar plummeted to its early low overnight and continued to decline in the range of 0.5789 and 0.5839 early Wednesday. Meanwhile, the kiwi remains under pressure from several factors. China, New Zealand's leading trading partner, has reduced its trade volumes. The economic environment in New Zealand adds to the pressure from abroad. Notably, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is likely to leave its interest rate unchanged for the third month in a row, and the regulators' meeting will be held on November 19. The central bank will make its decision based on quarterly data. In addition, inflation continued to decline in the third quarter. Therefore, the kiwi is quite sensitive to the US dollar's rates. At the end of the Asian session, the New Zealand dollar closed below 0.58. And that's all for now. But keep in mind that the market is changing constantly. Subscribe to the InstaForex TV channel. Leave your comments and questions below, and we will be happy to get your feedback. See you online soon.